Good morning, Alan. Hello, everyone else, and welcome to TARDIS Spider, human collaborators. The Cybermen have invaded many times in classic Doctor Who, and often with the aid of human collaborators. The Cybermen have invaded the Earth or Earth facilities many times, and often they used human allies. The key word is used. Just like the Daleks, the Cybermen have used the greed of men to use them. Often in Cybermen stories, we will meet humans who are behaving in a very unhuman way, a cyber way. Perhaps the Cybermen fail to understand the subtleties of human behavior. They often enlist the aid of traitorous humans, infiltrators such as Kelman in The Revenge of the Cybermen, Tobias Vaughn in The Invasion, and Ringway in Earthshock. These characters reveal a noticeable weakness, selfishness, and a lack of spirit for human life, something the Doctor celebrates. Cybermen appeal to the vanity, greed, and selfishness, qualities they do not understand, but they know very well how to use and exploit with them. The philosophy, voiced by one of the cyber leaders in the Five Doctors, that promises to aliens have no validity is often true. Cybermen agreements with non Cybermen are worthless. As often observed, these agreements tend to end in the death of the collaborator. Even further removed from the ethics of human behavior are men like De Flores in The Silver Nemesis, and the Brotherhood of Logicians, led by Clegg and Cafton, in The Tomb of the Cybermen. Both are akin to the Cybermen in that they have rejected the humanist view of society in favor of a paranoid belief in their own supremacy. For the Nazis, led by De Flores in Silver Nemesis, this supremacy is defined in racial terms. And for the Brotherhood of Logicians, it is in intellectual terms. Both parties enlisted Cybermen because their racial purity and mental prowess are matched by a third ingredient in the supremist fantasy: physical strength. At their own cost, they learn how seriously misguided they are in assuming that the Cybermen will be content to just provide the muscle for their plans of domination, plans that are small in scale and trivial to cyber standards. For a while, it seems that the mercenary Lytton is working to a similar goal in Attack of the Cybermen, until we discover that he is the pivot point to an elaborate double cross. But he is halfway through cyber conversion before we learn the truth. What links all of these characters is the extent they deviate from humanity on an emotional and ethical level. Something that has always been a goal of the Doctor in all of his lives has been to sound a warning of losing our humanity. Even his soon to be companion Zoe in The Wheel of Space, who had been described as being just like a robot, all brain, no heart. She will learn a great deal during the course of her struggle against the Cybermen about the virtue of behaving like a human being instead of like a computer. She learns enough that during the course of her next encounter with the Cybermen, she now turns logic on his head, taking great pleasure in scrambling the electronic brain of the International Electromatics Computer. The idea is human ingenuity winning over relentless cyber logic. This is a recurring theme in Cyberman stories. From Ben using a film projector to disorient a cyber guard in the 10th planet, all the way through Ace using jazz music to block the Cybermen's transmissions in the Silver Nemesis. If you are enjoying this story about the Cybermen, please take time to leave a comment, hit the like button, but most importantly, subscribe to TARDIS Spider. When Nissa points out in Earthshock that logical functioning gives illogical action an advantage, she is hitting the proverbial nail on the head, pointing out that the reason why the Cybermen will ultimately never win, they are too logical. Therefore, they are predictable. The Doctor's logic, from the destiny of the Daleks, make mistakes and confuse the enemy. This is doubly true when facing the Cybermen. At the foundation of Kit Pedler's Cybermen is the fear that we forget what makes us human. When we become like Clegg, Vaughn, or DeFlores, we will become like the Cybermen ourselves. If that happens, we would lose the meaning of our existence. As a scientist and a writer, Peddler was concerned, perhaps even frightened, about what we will do to ourselves with science in the future. Therefore, the Cybermen are a warning to ourselves and our future. We must remember why we are human, and as long as we remember that, we will be able, as humans, not machines, to heed the warning of the cyber controller. We will survive. Whenever humans dream of changing mankind through artificial means, we lose more humanity and become more cyber. The Cybermen, these so called superior beings, always used or leaned upon humans in their invasions, making me wonder who truly is superior. So, for a cyber story with human collaborators, let me suggest Clegg and Kafta in the Tomb of the Cybermen, Tobias Vaughn in The Invasion, Kelman in The Revenge of the Cybermen, Ringway in Earthshock, Lytton in Attack of the Cybermen, and DeFlores in The Silver Nemesis. I don't think any of these collaborators gets what they want to from the Cybermen, but they all get what they deserve. So enjoy your journey through time and space. Enjoy any or all of these classic Doctor Who Cybermen stories. And good night.